Hello, if you are a subscriber, welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome to the family. My name is Pastor Tarrance King Jr. And today I want to talk to you about the storms in life because some storms don't happen around you, they happen on the inside of you. And honestly, those are usually the hardest storms to survive because people can see when somebody is struggling physically, but emotional storms, like mental storms, silent battles, most people never see those. And you can be smiling publicly while privately feeling exhausted. You can be showing up for everybody, doing everything that you know to do, while internally feeling empty yourself. And maybe that's where you are right now. You're tired, not weak, not lazy, just tired, like tired mentally, tired emotionally, tired spiritually. And one thing storms often do to people is they push people into isolation because pain makes people withdraw. Disappointment makes people retreat. Exhaustion make people disconnect. And honestly, that's exactly what happened to Elijah. One of my favorite scriptures. Most people remember Elijah for the miracles, right? Calling down fire from heaven. We remember that. Standing boldly before false prophets, walking in authority. But what many people don't talk about is what happened after the victory. Because sometimes people can look strong publicly, while privately they are just secretly falling apart emotionally. Somebody needs to hear this clearly. Just because you are strong does not mean you never get tired. Let that sink in. In 1 Kings 19, the Bible says Elijah went into the wilderness. And the same man who called down fire from heaven, right? I want you guys to remember that. Now sits under a tree asking God to let him die. Like he's ready to give up on life. Think about that moment for a second. A prophet, a man used by God, a man who saw miracles, still reached a place where emotionally he felt overwhelmed. And honestly, many people can relate to Elijah more than they realize because sometimes pressure becomes so heavy that people stop seeing hope clearly. I want you guys to let that sink in. Sometimes life hits people so hard that peace feels impossible. And maybe you're watching this right now, feeling exactly like that. You're tired mentally, tired emotionally, tired spiritually. And secretly, you've been asking yourself, how much more of this can I take? But one thing I love about God, one of the many things that I love about God, is that God did not abandon Elijah in the wilderness. And somebody needs to hear this clearly. God does not disappear just because you're struggling emotionally. And some people think their weakness pushes God away. Many times, God meets people deepest in broken places. And I want you guys to notice something powerful. When Elijah sat down, wanting to die, God did not shame him. God did not condemn him, right? God cared for him. And the Bible says an angel touched Elijah and told him to get up and eat. Now, I want you guys to write that down because sometimes when people are overwhelmed, they think that they only need a spiritual answer. But sometimes people also need rest, they need stillness, they need recovery, they need healing. And honestly, one reason many people lose peace is because they never slow down, always moving, always stressed, always worried, always carrying pressure, always overthinking, and eventually constant pressure wears people down mentally. And that's why peace is not just spiritual. Sometimes peace requires rest too. And after Elijah rested, the Bible says God spoke to him. I want you to notice something. God spoke to him, but he demonstrated a few things. And the Bible tells us that he didn't speak through the wind, he didn't speak through the earthquake, he didn't speak through the fire. The Bible tells us that God spoke through a still small voice. And honestly, that's one reason many people struggle to hear God now because life has become loud. Social media is loud, pressure is loud, fear is loud, stress is loud, and everybody talking, everybody demanding attention, everybody pulling your energy. And sometimes the only way to find peace is to get quiet again. Now, let that sit with you. Some of you don't need more noise. You need God's presence. You need stillness. You need a space to breathe emotionally. And one thing storms teach people is what they truly trust in because storms remove comfort, right? And they remove certainty, they remove control. And when control disappears, fear often increases. But peace does not come from controlling life. Peace comes from trusting God even when life feels uncertain. Isaiah says, "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him," right? Notice that peace is connected to focus because whatever your mind stays on eventually shapes your emotions. If your mind stays on fear, then fear grows stronger. If your mind stays on pressure, then anxiety grows stronger. If your mind stays on problems, then stress grows even stronger. But when your mind stays on God, peace begins to grow. And hear me clearly, peace does not mean the storm disappears immediately, right? Sometimes peace means God strengthens you while the storm is still happening. That's real faith. Still trusting God when emotionally you are exhausted, still praying while you're overwhelmed, still believing while you're tired internally. And somebody needs to stop believing that emotional struggle means spiritual failure. Elijah struggled too. David struggled. Job struggled too. And even Jesus experienced a season of sorrow. So stop attacking yourself for being human, right? One dangerous thing about storms is isolation because storms make people withdraw. People stop talking, they stop opening up, they stop reaching out. In isolation, it becomes dangerous mentally. And that's why you need healthy people around you spiritually because who encourages you matters, who prays for you matters, who strengthens you, that matters, right? Remember, you need people to remind you who God is when you are emotionally unstable because God never designs people to carry every storm alone. And if you're watching this feeling overwhelmed today, hear me clearly. This storm will not destroy you. The pressure is real, absolutely. The exhaustion is real. The emotions are real. But God is still present. And the same God who was with Elijah in the wilderness still meets people today, still restores people, still strengthens people, still gives peace. And maybe God brought you into this video to remind you that you do not have to carry this storm alone anymore. God still sees you, God still hears you, God still cares about you, and peace is still possible, even in the storm. And if this message blessed you, put it in the comments. God, give me peace. And send this to at least 5 people. Share this. Let them know that God has not forgotten about them. And remember this, keep showing up because I believe that when you show up, God does too. God bless you.